Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 21st to the 31st, 2018 reading for you. Now I've shuffled and meditated upon the cards, so we're going to see what these 11 dates hold for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. And if you guys would like to book a private reading with me, all that information will be in the description box below. Awesome. Okay. You are very grounded right now in this reading, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Yeah, it's like you know what you want, you know where you're going, and that's it. There's a period after that sentence. I love it. 3 major arcana cards. Okay. I'm going to just straighten these out because that's who I am. All right. Yeah, very much. You're a very focused Gemini. And that's beautiful. And you're also really not putting up with much, I want to say bull. You're really sitting there and saying, you know what, this is what I want from life. And this is what I'm going to get. And that's it. There's an awakening within you. Some part of you has been laying dormant for some time. And it might have been a long time. It might be an awakening after years of feeling as if you're not living your truth, as if there's something more out there waiting for you. And it might just be days, weeks, months. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But you're having this awakening of self, this awakening of spirit. And you're sitting there and you're knowing your truth. Also, seriously, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your daydreams. Pay attention to the insights that you're getting. Pay attention to your intuition. You're not going to be steering yourself wrong. You're going to be moving forward in beauty, in prosperity, in abundance, because you know your mind. The angels are guiding you. So even though you're being told in this card that a part of you is awakening after a long slumber, even though you're being told that you have your armor on, you know the darker side of human nature, you know that everybody isn't going to be out there and be your friend and think that you're wonderful, you believe in you, though, and you're going to get insights and understandings that are going to help you move forward, that are going to help you embrace your truth and your understanding and your prosperity. Make sure you're resting. Make sure you sleep at night, okay? And make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because the insights will come even greater once you're taking really good care of yourself, once you're making sure that you count. All right? The next card is the 8 of Cups. For some of you, this could be signifying an end of a relationship, a divorce, just a moving on. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes that's the best thing you could ever do for yourself, is to sit there and say, you know what, I thought I'd love this. I thought we'd be happy forever. I thought this would really work out, but it's not. And I'm putting myself first. You have to put yourself first, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. You're not being selfish. You're not being egotistical. You are sitting there and saying, I have a right to be happy. And you absolutely do. Now, this could also be walking away from a job. This could be walking away from a mindset. This is just embracing your happiness and walking away from something that no longer makes you happy. And it could have made you absolutely joyous when you first started. But now it's a struggle. And now you're looking at it and saying, okay, I really have to start moving on. Now, this doesn't mean, go out and quit your job and come home and not know how to pay your bills or anything like that. This is saying that you're planning. This is saying that you're looking at things. And you're saying, how do I move forward in a way that best affects you? And you're embracing that. You're embracing that understanding that you haven't failed. Because some of you might be sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just failing. There's nothing I can do that ever seems to turn out right. You haven't failed. You've known what doesn't work for you. And you're getting closer and closer to what does. And that's a huge thing, because everybody wants to be a savant. Everybody wants to be brilliant at something right off the back, and you know, when you're 21 years old, you've already achieved everything that you could possibly achieve. What the heck is the rest of your life for? You're learning, you're growing, you're understanding, and you're embracing this prosperity that is coming, that you're working towards. Because really, truly, and honestly, Gemini, you are working towards something beautiful. Here you have the Queen of Pentacles. Now this can represent a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo in your life. Somebody who's grounded, who understands, you know, who's usually they're really good with financial matters. At least that's what I've always found. But this is also saying that you are grounding yourself. You're sitting there with your feet firmly planted in the ground. And I remember reading somewhere that in ancient times, they used to ask, did they leave footprints? Because when you passed away from this earth. But if you left footprints, it meant that your presence was felt on this earth. And that's what you're doing. Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, you are leaving your footprints on the ground. You are making a place for yourself. And it doesn't have to be that anybody else sits there and turns towards you and thinks, oh my gosh, how absolutely prosperous of you. It doesn't have to be a mega $1 million move. What it has to be is that you're impacting your life. You're moving forward in prosperity. You're impacting the world around you. Because the world around you is the only world that really matters for you. And as you're impacting your life, as you're moving forward in your wealth, in your joy, in your prosperity, because this is financial wealth, but this is also something you value as much as money. You can be wealthy in love, you can be wealthy in joy, you can be wealthy in happiness. There's all different ways to embrace wealth, but you're leaving behind your sorrow. You're sitting there and you're saying, you know what, I've lived through it. I've done it. I'll always remember it, because you're not going to be foolish and sit there and think that life is only going to be roses and bubblegum, because that's not how life works. But you're embracing love. This is also the divine feminine, crowning you, embracing you, sitting there and saying that you are moving forward in your beauty and in your prosperity. You are embracing what it is that you want from life. You're embracing your joys and your abundance. And you're actually going to be a person that people turn to and say, wow, you are successful. You are wherever your wealth starts to accumulate. And again, this is financial wealth or love or happiness, but you start to have that prosperity and you share it with other people. People turn towards you and say, my goodness, how did you become so good at this? How did you become so prosperous? And it could even be that you are just really good at doing whatever it is that you love doing. Love has to be the key to this, because that is what keeps on radiating out of this card to me as I'm talking to you, is the sense of love, of the sense of roses here, of moving forward in your bliss and in your happiness, and in the security that that awareness has brought you, that you are worth so much more than you ever gave yourself credit for. And now you're embracing that prosperity and you're moving forward. Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is you leaving behind the scars of the past and embracing that childlike innocence. And I'm not saying to be like a child. I'm saying to remember when you believed that you could do anything, that you could achieve anything, that you could go anywhere, and that the whole world was your oyster. That time, before everybody else, the adults in your life, the other children in your life, started to put you down. Well, the other children would be your peers, started to put you down. And it doesn't have to be before the age of 10, it could be well after. But as you were forming yourself, as you were forming the idea of who you are, as you were writing that narrative in your head, or, creating that script, playing that part in the movie, whatever analogy you want to use, the limitations that were put on you by other people. Because when you were born, you can be anything. You can do anything. And when you're little, you believe that you can be exactly what you dream before you're told that your dreams are too big, before you're told that, you should really not have your expectations be so high because you're going to be disappointed. Now you are embracing those dreams again. maybe a bit more sensibly, you can't be Superman, but you can be and follow your joy and your happiness. You can live with that sense of glory in your life, and you can share that wisdom with other people. There's a sense here, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, of you embracing your prosperity and having that share outward, having it become so much more than what it once was. And there's a sense of seeing the world differently. It's as if by walking away from what you once thought you would love, and having gone through this transformation of self, having gone through this hibernation, you have seen more than you ever thought you would. And here he's trapped between two worlds, the fairy world and the earthly plane. Moving forward in courage. Okay? Embracing your inner courage, because you are, again, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, so much stronger than you ever give yourself credit for. People sit there and say, oh, Geminis are flighty, they're this, they're that, they're two-faced. They're not. You get bored easily, but there's nothing wrong with that. You're planting your feet firmly on the ground, and you are moving forward in your prosperity. Just because your mind works quickly, and that's the problem with most air signs, your mind works so quickly that people take it as, you being flighty. No, it's just that you've already got it, so now you're moving forward. You're seeing the world through two different set of eyes, which makes perfect sense for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, because you're represented by the twins. And you can see two sides of the story. And you're using that kind of empathic knowledge, that empathy, that being able to understand where other people are coming from to your highest advantage, in a way to enrich your life. In the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, it is a man hanging upside down from the tree. He is actually seeing the world differently, from a completely different point of view. Here we have seeing two worlds, and the knowledge and the understanding that that brings. And what I think that this is saying to you is that you've understood the struggle. You've understood struggle, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, and now you're understanding joy. Or you've understood joy and you've understood struggle, and you're embracing the truth that has come out of that. You're embracing your prosperity, and you're also being kind to who you once were. All right? Not sitting there and saying, you know what, you should have known better, you should have achieved this sooner, what was wrong with you? You're sitting there and now saying, you know what, I have learned so much from the experience of my life. And now I'm moving forward in my prosperity. I am embracing this change. And I am letting in the wealth that it is bringing me. You have here the Seven of Wands. Not everybody is going to understand you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. They're not going to understand your path, what you're doing, where you're going, how you're achieving it. And you're going to feel as if you have to defend yourself. That is going to waste your energy. Defending yourself, making sure, not being a doormat is absolutely, positively perfect. But feeling as if you are constantly defending yourself and not taking your energy away from what you're wanting to achieve, no. That's going to waste your time. And you have such beautiful things ahead of you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, that you don't need your time wasted at all. Know that you have the high ground. Know that your emotions, though it seems like they might be raging at times and they might be sitting there and you might be getting frustrated with everybody around you or with some people around you, your emotions are going to calm. Things are going to settle as you step out of the water and onto, again, having your feet firmly planted on the ground. Embrace the high ground. Embrace you knowing your purpose, you knowing what you're supposed to be doing, and knowing that other people, though they have their path, they have their truth, and it's not yours. And it might be that as you walk away from things, you get opposition. You get people sitting there and saying, what the heck are you doing? I can't believe that you would be so selfish or so, whatever, to walk away from something that just isn't right for you anymore, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. But you have to do what's right for you. And you have to start embracing your truth and your happiness. Because your clarifying cards are absolutely beautiful. You have the Hermit, which is turning inward, which definitely picks up on the energy of the Four of Swords, of listening to your dreams, of awakening that part inside of you that has been laying dormant, because you're following your passions and your creativity. Your passion is lighting your way. Your creativity is lighting your way. There might be something, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, that you have always been wanting to do, but haven't felt the time was right. Something you've always wanted to create, but the time hasn't been right. And now it starts. Now you start to see that things start to fall into place. And you're like, oh, okay, I can do this now. I can achieve this. I can succeed. Guiding your way because it's dark. And you can't always see everything. So your passion is guiding your feet, leading you forward. Really, truly, and deeply. Pay attention to your instincts, Gemini. Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. They are going to lead you in the right path. Now here, the Serpent. Now the Serpent wasn't a negative sign until it was transformed, till old religions were incorporated into new ones, and the Serpent became a sign of slithering on your stomach and being lowlier than all others. It used to be a sign of rebirth. It used to be venerated. And that's how we're reading it here. You are transforming yourself. You're shedding your skin. You're becoming new. Right? And it doesn't mean that you are, walking away from everything and walking into the woods and going to, find yourself that way. It means that you are being true to who you are. And you're letting go of the past. And you're embracing your future with knowledge and security. With a sense of, I can do this, instead of a sense of, oh my gosh, no, I can't. The Hermit is clad in purple. Embracing your majesty, embracing your wisdom. Right? The feathers, taking flight. Giving yourself the freedom to be who you are, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, not who everybody else wants you to be. And turning towards the left, again, the Divine Feminine. Again, embracing love and truth and understanding for yourself. Everybody else doesn't have to understand. The fact that you do is bringing you closer and closer to living your dreams, because we have here, then, the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is about tradition, okay? It's about finding the traditions that work for you. They don't have to be your traditions. They could be, other traditions that have power, because traditions have power. And embracing that way of looking at things. Embracing that sort of magic that comes through a ritual. And it doesn't have to be religious or anything like that. It could just be you embracing your own personal sense of abundance, sense of purpose, sense of embracing the path that you're walking down and saying, yes, this is right for me. Now, in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, this is a Pope with supplicants at his feet. Here, it is Taliesin, the greatest of all the bards, pretty much. The greatest of all the men. He drank of the elixir by accident of Carowin and got all the knowledge. And he went from being the lowliest of men, a servant, being told to stir the pot, to being the most revered. And that's kind of your transformation here, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. I think that sums it up rather perfectly. Not being the lowliest, but not believing that you can achieve your goals. A sense of having to walk away, a sense of overcoming the doubts and the fears, and not feeling as if you have to fight for what you want out of life, but embracing your inner truth and your inner wisdom and your inner self. And knowing that you have this wisdom and this glory to move forward. You're also going to have to pay attention to your words and the words that you think about yourself. Okay? The way you think about you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, is very important. Because we tend to speak to ourselves in a way that we would never speak to anybody else. Or at least we would be appalled if we heard other people saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how stupid you are. You never do anything right. You know, can't you just get it right now? Everything like that. You would be appalled to hear somebody talk to another person like that. And yet we tend to think that that's okay to talk to ourselves that way. It's not. Pay attention to the magic of your words. Pay attention to the power of your words, because they're going to shape you, especially with the Hierophant here being a bard. Your words have power. You carry the story of yourself in your heart, and you're sharing it with the world by how you address yourself, how you speak about yourself. And the Hierophant also is kind of like the King of Kings here. A pope, a bard, could tell a king what was right, what was wrong. And here with the Queen of Pentacles, you have a divine right. You have a divine right to live your truth in your prosperity. And that truth and that prosperity is going to be deeply impacted by what you tell yourself, by the words you say to yourself, the thoughts you have about yourself. Okay, give me a minute. Yeah. It is time to stop fighting. You know your passion, you know your creativity, you know what you want from life. Even if you sit there and say, Dane, I don't. There is a part of you that does. And it knows at least the fact that you want to start living in happiness, in joy, and in prosperity. You're walking away from what you once thought you would love, that no longer is giving you this bliss, okay? That is no longer ringing true with your authentic self. You're starting to follow the happiness. You're starting to follow the joy that you had when you were younger, when you didn't know that you couldn't achieve, when limitations weren't put on you. Remember to be kind to yourself. Letting go of the limitations that other people have put on you. What people have told you was wrong about yourself, which may actually be your greatest gift. Healing from the past and moving forward in friendship in your future. Friendship for yourself and a sharing of wisdom. Seeing the world through two sets of eyes. Okay? Remembering how you fought to get to where you are and how you're not fighting anymore. How you're embracing your truth and your understanding and your prosperity. Having that courage. Remembering what it was like to be told that you couldn't. And now to change that mindset and tell yourself that you can. You can achieve. There's going to be a time of healing. There's going to be a time where you need to rest and take care of yourself. Make sure that you're getting plenty of sleep, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, because that is going to start to awaken the part inside of you that has been laying dormant, that you might have pushed down because you might have thought, oh my gosh, it was ridiculous, or your dreams were ridiculous, or something to that effect. Now you're awakening and you're moving forward. You have your armor on, you're paying attention to your dreams, and you're paying attention to your daydreams. Your angels are right there with you, and you're embracing your prosperity. You're leaving behind the sorrow and embracing love, moving forward in love and embracing your wealth, the wealth that you were divinely given to live on this earth. Okay? Prosperity, love, happiness, joy, anything that positively impacts your life is your wealth and your prosperity. You are finding what you want, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. You're planting your feet firmly in the ground, and you are living your truth. You're moving forward, finding your own personal knowledge, taking a bit of a time out from other people, and sitting there and saying, okay, what is it that I want? And remembering the power of your words, and remembering the power of yourself. The fact that you have, again, this divine right, this universal right to live in your happiness, and your joy, and your understanding. I love it. At the bottom of the deck, they say, lies your subconscious message. This is the Nine of Cups. This is embracing your wish. The wish that people know about you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, where they say, oh my gosh, you always wanted, insert, your wants, your dreams here. You're getting that wish. You're getting that happiness. Like honey melting on your tongue. Moving forward in your truth. And taking this as a gift. Taking this as a spring. taking this as happiness coming in. Not saying, you know what, no, I'm not worthy of it. Not saying, no, I can't be happy. You can. You have every right to be. And you're being told through the cards to embrace it. Embrace your truth. Embrace your prosperity. Embrace your happiness. Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, this has been a long time coming, and you have worked so hard to get here. Also, connecting with nature is going to recharge your battery. It's going to make you feel more centered, more prosperous, more joyous. So even if it's just having a cup of coffee, a cup of tea outside at a cafe, taking in that sunlight and moving forward. Because subconsciously, you are ready for this happiness to come into your life. All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. Bye.